We're here, Weekly Wednesday. Let me share the link to everybody in our Discord so everyone can join. It's always really fun to see myself live streaming. So, very cool. Okay, so it looks like we're online. We got some people here. Um, See the chat. If you're here for the first time, say hi. If you're a frequent Weekly Wednesday listener, also say hi. I love to see who's watching. I know I sent out the email for everybody, and um, you know, I like to send out that email usually about 30 minutes before. Today got went sent out a little bit later, um, but a lot of cool stuff to talk about today. If today's your first day watching this live stream. My name is Pearson Marks. I am the co founder and CEO of Jellypod. And every week at 10 a.m. Pacific, we dive into all the latest feature announcements, product updates, and everything that has gone out on Jellypod within the last week. I see some familiar faces in the chat. Hello, hello. If you throw something up into the chat, um, I'll put you up on the live stream. So it's a great way to get recognized. I like to say hi to everybody, um, and so forth. So today again, like last week, it's just going to be me. So I'll just really rely on you all to ask me questions. We're going to do probably a screen share in like 10 or so minutes, diving into some of the features that we talked about last week, some of the new things that we improved this week, and really just use this time to get to know you all, what you're creating, and any ways that I can support you in your Jellypod podcasting journey. So it's great to see some familiar faces as always. Um, it's great. We'll see if some of the other MVPs and VIPs are also watching here. So different location. Hey, great. I'm based in San Francisco today. I'm actually in Oakland, over across the bridge. If you've been over here, it's the Bay Area is large. I live in San Francisco, but I'm across the bridge today in Oakland. So different background. Uh, I like San Francisco better, but I'm over here today. But yeah, and great. Oh, if for context, that's why I just talked about that. Different location. And FYI, script import seems to be working. That's awesome. It's great. Spent some time doing some improvements this week. We'll dig into them right now. Um, this is actually one where it's a little finicky. So, for everybody that may not know what we're talking about, script imports. So, let me just pull that back up onto the screen. So, there was a feature that we released a few weeks ago called import scripts. This feature was something that was heavily requested, where you all might have a existing script that you created um, that you want to bring into Jellypod, so that your hosts could read your script verbatim versus using Jellypod to create a script. Normally, I would recommend using Jellypod to create the scripts. I think Jellypod does an amazing job of taking source material and creating engaging conversational scripts. We do a lot of stuff behind the scenes that ChatGPT can't do, and we're improving this process to be the best conversational scriptwriter in the world. But some people have scripts that they've either written by hand, they use ChatGPT, use Notebook LM, something else out there, and maybe they just want to bring those scripts in Jellypod. So that's what that feature does. You can click Upload Script, and we'll take your script and we'll convert it into a format that is compatible with Jellypod so that you can actually generate a podcast using that exact script verbatim. So that's the key. You have to, if you want your script to be read verbatim, you have to use the upload script feature, and you can't just add a script as a source to your podcast episode. So let me just show you what I mean right here. I think it might be useful for everybody that doesn't know what I'm talking about because Noel brings up a great point. Hello, Mohammed. It's great to see you as well, as always. Let me just bring up Jellypod over here. Share my screen. Got a solid number of people online today. This is great. So thanks for joining. And again, if you're just hopping on, say hi in the chat. It helps us because more people that engage in the chat, we grow. YouTube pushes us in the algorithm, and more people might find us, and then we can make a little bit more money, invest more into the product, make it better because the team's small. So it's just Bilal and I now. And Bilal's not here today. So this is Jellypod. If you have no idea what Jellypod is and you're literally just joining our weekly Wednesday because you're interested, this is the familiar interface that you'll get right when you sign up. So you get a chat box right here. And you get a chat box right here. You get some buttons, very familiar like ChatGPT or a lot of these chat-based platforms, and you can upload sources. Like let's say I was just looking into some compliance reporting. So if you like compliance reporting, we use Resend as our email provider, and they have the SOC 2 report. So I just uploaded that there. And I can just create a podcast and say focus on the let's say this is talking about like security and privacy, so let's focus on the key security pieces and make it 5 chapters. So this is key. So that prompt box, you can now actually use that prompt to guide how your episode is created. So, Franny, what you're saying right here, yeah, awesome. Um, that text box is exactly for that. So now that actually is going to be used, and you use it to create more chapters, and like whatever you'd like to really guide that outline. So now, see, I said create 5 chapters. It's creating 5 chapters. You can see that one source over here. Um, and we can add more sources down below. So that's kind of this process. I know I'm kind of jumping all over the place. We were going to talk about import script feature. So, but just to preface, this is kind of that existing flow where you upload a source and then you get this outline, which you can review. And if you haven't used the platform in the last week or so, this is kind of, it looks a little bit new. You have sources on the left here, which you can add and remove sources if you'd like. You have your outline on the right. You can regenerate it. You can add a chapter. And then after this outline looks good, you just have to click Generate Script. And this will actually take that outline, take all your source information, and generate a conversation between your hosts. So we have Oliver and Maya that will walk us through the system architecture of this email provider that we use. So yeah, we can see it streaming in just like so. Yeah, and I guess while that's streaming in, one of the changes that happened this past week was this sidebar. So we kind of made some improvements to the sidebar. You can now see your podcasts on the left hand side. So these are your podcast series. You can click on them and go directly to your podcast and start editing that if you'd like and seeing all of the episodes. You can also see all your hosts as well with an easy button to create a new host right below. So this kind of just gives you, just a better visualization over the platform, putting the host front and center, putting your podcast series front and center. And yeah, and you can always just close these out. Like if it's too much for you, just close them down. All right, I just clicked on host on accident. So clicked on host. Let's just go back though. So the episode finished. We got this nice 5 chapter episode. You can generate the audio like that. Let this generate. But yeah, any questions so far for anyone that's here? Um, Let me know if there's anything I can answer. But we won't actually wait for this all to generate. We'll go out. Um, Actually, we're close, so we'll just wait. So yeah, how's everyone doing this Wednesday? Um, Hopefully everyone's having a good week. It'll be nice to have Bilal back next week. And we can chat a little bit more. And oh, cool. So there we go. We have that script, and the audio's been generated. 9 minute long episode, pretty solid. We can change the portrait, the orientation square. I like square actually; it's pretty cool. And then also change the what it looks like. Yeah. Okay. So this is really cool. We got a question here about is it possible to change the host per episode? So I'm working on this right now. Um, the way that it's not easily possible to do this with like a one-click like built-in solution. Um, but the way you should change hosts per episode is just going to your podcast series and then just removing a host and adding a new host in. That's the way to do it today. It's the way it's been done for the last like 6 months or so. We're building out a much easier way to do this so you can add in a new host or edit your hosts per episode more easily at default to your podcast series. I'm just working on it. That's and it should come out in the next like 2 weeks or so, maybe even sooner. Um, so I know that doesn't answer the question. You can change your host per episode, just edit it on the podcast level, but it'll, it'll be much easier very soon. A lot of people ask for that. And then with add chapter, does it regenerate? So add chapter doesn't regenerate. It just, if you click add chapter, it takes a second. It actually will just add a new chapter based on just something. It'll intelligently add a new chapter based on the existing content. So that's kind of what that does. Um, but yeah, so we have this. We have ability to change our hosts, as everybody knows that. Add your intro and outro music, your pronunciation guide, if any words are being misspelled, and yeah, so that's kind of the main interface. If this is your first time joining, um, some of the big improvements that happened this week were all under the hood. One of the largest ones that we implemented was we migrated our authentication uh, service to be more to be extremely to just be much faster. It's going from every page would take about a second or so to kind of load, and now that's dropped down to like 2 milliseconds. We're able to do some cool stuff to not necessarily have to check your credentials uh, from a remote server every time, and it's going to just make that experience much faster you can go through and do everything just better. It'll be faster, it'll be better, it'll be quicker, more snappy. So super excited about that. Um, we added stuff on the sidebar here. We also added analytics. So I'm actually logged into a bad. It's probably not the best one to showcase everybody here today, um, but we'll just change this timeline. So this is a test account that I use for demoing. Um, I should probably use a different account that has a lot more analytics here showing. But this is the new analytics dashboard. So if you click on analytics on the left-hand side, you'll see some information about your podcast performance. This only includes data from published episodes and does not today include listens from your custom website if it's a video. So this is just purely audio listens across Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and so forth. We're going to add the analytics for your custom website videos. Just it's not supported today. It hasn't been supported. It'll continue not being supported. But this is just an improvement to this dashboard that shows you the listens over time. So if you could see, I was looking at somebody's the other day. It had like thousands of listens. It was really cool. Average weekly listens of like 4,000, which it's awesome. I mean, it was a podcast about this reptile sort of convention, and super cool. Thousands of listens, really big, growing his business through Jellypod. We see total episodes. So these are all of your episodes that you've ever created. You see your published ones, scheduled episodes, and your draft episodes, your total listens of all time, your weekly average downloads and downloads last month. You also will be able to see the top episodes based on listens. So this is your top episodes of all time. Your device type. So this will show you are people listening from the computer, listening from a tablet, listening from a mobile device, and then top countries. So if you're based in the UK, Australia, United States, your listeners are probably going to be there. What's usually pretty interesting is what's the second highest. Oh, there we go. Michael. That's awesome. Great to see you, Michael. Yeah, I love the podcast. I mean, um, it's really interesting. It's really cool. So check out Michael's podcast. Michael, if you want to drop that link down in the chat, I know people would love to check it out. So I know I emailed you the other day. So if you ever want to chat about it, I'm here. So and yeah, so this dashboard I hope makes it a little bit more clear and allows you to get some insights about your data. And just a reminder, it's not going to show the data on the video on your custom website, so the numbers are actually going to be a little bit lower than they are realistically. But we're going to add those in soon, so don't worry. Yeah, I know. So it covered a lot of stuff. Is there any questions about maybe what's on the future roadmap? Something that you want me to showcase on the platform? And we could also, I mean, next week or in the future, if one of you all want to come on and hop on this call with me, it'd be really fun just for you to chat. We could have a live kind of conversation, go through your process. So if that's interesting to you, let me know. It'd be really cool to have a real customer on the weekly Wednesday showcasing what they're creating, their creative process. I have a call later today with somebody who's creating a really cool automated sort of podcast. And so that will be a customer story that comes out soon. Yeah, so this is kind of the stuff. I know actually I made some other improvements over here. So ignore all these weird podcasts names. They're just a test account. Let's actually go to it's fine. let's go to the Santa Claus one. Um, let's go to my analytics dashboard. Find the Santa Claus in summer. Okay, so sweet. So here is, this is your podcast homepage for that individual podcast series. And now we have some analytics that show up on this page as well. So you don't have to click into analytics tab. This will show you the number of listens for this podcast specifically, the number of published episodes that you have, the number of scheduled episodes, and the number of draft episodes. So, we can see this Chilling at the North Pole pool has 2 listens. That's the one published episode. And then we have the one draft episode, which has no listens because it's a draft. But yeah, so that's just some more improvements. Last week we showed the QR code, which you can now, download and scan if you're creating in-person events that you want your podcast to be easily accessible to, versus typing in on Google or Spotify. You can just have people scan that QR code. We did some, these sidebar improvements. Did the new episode. Some improvements here under the hood. But yeah, I guess one of the other bug fixes I'll just show everybody. Previously, episode cover art was kind of harder to edit. Now you'll see your episode cover art here. So, for example, if you didn't know, by default, your podcast is going to inherit the cover art from your series. So, for example, I have this weird stretched deep search cover art, and so all the episodes will use that cover art except for ones that I've explicitly uploaded new cover art to. So this one inside the Jellypod deal, if I click on it, I'll see this cover art, and now if I click edit episode, you actually will see this here, and you can remove it, and when I save it, inside the Jellypod deal will go back to that podcast cover art. So minor bug that was fixed. Yeah, Noel said, any tips for getting listeners? So this is something. It's hard growing a podcast, just like a normal podcast. Consistency is key. Sharing it across social media. We do some things on your podcast website to get to improve SEO, like having your transcripts there. But yeah, this is a hard thing. I think it's more of like, hey, publish your podcast to Spotify, to Apple Podcasts, to Pocket Casts, to Deezer, to every single podcast service out there. Just take that RSS feed and post it to the world. Post the video to YouTube. That won't track on the listeners thing because YouTube has their own analytics. So if you upload the video to YouTube, it's not going to show, unfortunately. But yeah, it's at the end of the day, when you're trying to grow your podcast, I think we've seen the most success in people that are really niching down. I know, Noel, you're really niche in your content, but sticking with that, niche down to a relevant target audience that may not be fulfilled with existing stuff that's out there. Posting your podcast on Reddit is super helpful. I think if you go and find a subreddit that might, those people on those subreddits might really like it. Twitter might be also a great opportunity to kind of like, if you wanted to create a Twitter thread where or X thread, you have like 5 different tweets that kind of thread down, and then the last one is a link to your podcast. Yeah, so, I wonder, Michael, do you put it on Reddit or do you put it on Twitter? I'm curious there. I wasn't sure which one you meant. But for everybody, Michael, he he builds a ticketing platform for people attending reptile shows. It's created to get more people interested in attending the show. Yeah, Repticon, right? So it's super interesting. Um, it'd be a cool case study, Michael. So if you we could schedule a call and get the word out there a little bit more. Oh wow, so nowhere but the ticket platform. Really cool. So interesting. Yeah, that's awesome. Um, so, 12,000 listens in 3 weeks. Super cool. That's killer. These are the stories that I love to share. I think it's inspiring to all of us. Um, I know you're one of those top performers on Jellypod that I've seen. There's some other about like medicine, some about technology that are up there as well. Um, but solid numbers, I gotta say. Congratulations. Um, yeah, Michael, just email me back. We'll schedule some time and we can talk a little bit more about how I can support you the best and use what your learnings and the things that you need to help everybody else too. So super cool, super cool. Um, yeah, I mean, this week was slower. Wasn't crazy. Yeah, yeah, right. No. Um, Also, I mean, post it in the Jellypod subreddit. So we have a Jellypod subreddit that's been inactive for a while, but I would love to get this, you know, really hopped up. Just post your content here, and we can all grow together. So Michael's saying, what is Michael saying? You need to point the content to those who are making a decision in a short period of time. That's interesting, right? Um, totally. And thank you. I appreciate it. Platform. Jellypod is it's young. We're young and we're all a team. All of you, like everybody that's watching this right now, it's super motivating and encouraging to see the successes that you're all having on the platform and listening to you all. It's like this community that hopefully we can grow together. Um, because if we grow, we can build more things. We can help you grow your businesses, help you grow your audience, and it's uh, it's awesome. So mutually beneficial if we all just help us grow too. So share it with your friends, share your podcast on the internet, Twitter, X, LinkedIn, Reddit, all of the above, Blue Sky, Instagram. Um, Share those videos. It's really cool. So and yeah, so if anybody's just joining, remember I just want to shout out Michael again with 12,000 listens in 3 weeks. Just blowing my mind. It's crazy. um, so I'm seeing some new people join up right now, join the live stream. But hello, Credence, and yeah. So this is the weekly Wednesday, um, 30 minutes every week at 10 a.m. Pacific. So we do this every week. We have a Discord. If you're not in the Discord, join the Discord. It's not super active, but it's the best way to kind of share your work with everybody else and to stay up to date with like just personal announcements about the platform that aren't an email because I don't want to send more than one email a week personally. But Reddit is a closed group. Really? Closed group. It's the first time I've done a Reddit. Um, hmm. Oh, I see that. See, it's private. Not good. Well, thank you. Um, I will. It's very good to know. It's like, why is nobody joining the Reddit? So, general settings. I'm assuming it's there. Community type, public. Um, Interesting. Okay. Well, I'll fix that. Thank you. Um, didn't realize it was a closed group. I thought it was a public subreddit. So yeah, um, that's pretty much it. If you're new, any other questions before we log off? Um, I know it's always kind of, it sucks because right around this time is when people start to join, but is what it is. Thanks for telling me about that. The Reddit's closed. But okay, well, it looks like there's no other questions. This is recorded, and Michael will get in touch with you. Awesome. Thanks so much. And yeah, let's keep this conversation going. We'll be on next week. Bilal will be back next Wednesday, so it'll be both of us again. Um, and yeah, so thanks for joining, and we'll talk next week. Bye all.